Oh man, I did not want to make this video, but I think it's time that we talk about Saints Row. Well, what was supposed to be a great game, which was a Saints Row reboot, it's turned out to be just horrible. I played the game, it wasn't as refreshing as I thought it would be for the Saints Row franchise. Now, I played the first Saints Row, second, third, fourth, and I played Get Out of Hell, so I really had a lot of experience playing the Saints Row games, and I was expecting this game to be completely newer technology for video games, and I thought it would capture some of the enjoyment that I got out of the other games. And a lot of people didn't like Saints Row the Fourth or Saints Row Re-Elected, one of those, because of how off the rails and sideways it went. The thing about Saints Row when it first came out was it was supposed to be a competitor to Grand Theft Auto, and for a while it was, but then it took a little bit of a turn when it turned into this video game where you can have superpowers, you had to fight aliens, and it was a lot, especially for anybody that thought that Saints Row was going to be a good competitor to Grand Theft Auto. But I think they changed the whole entire gameplay and how the game was going to continue because they couldn't compete with GTA, and that was okay. I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was off the wall, like just fun, especially with the mini games and everything that you could do in the game, like the jumping or even like the add-ons that they had for the game. I thought it was fantastic. Leading up to Saints Row and the reboot of the franchise, I played pretty much all of those games, especially like Saints Row Re-Elected and Get Out of Hell. Those games intrigued me. I really enjoyed being like the superpower person, and then throughout that gameplay, they would actually take your powers away. And if you haven't played Saints Row Re-Elected, just go ahead and give it a try. If you were somebody that played the Saints Row reboot, like this brand new one, go back, play the older games, and I guarantee you'll have a better experience and like the franchise way more than what they just put out. Now, this reboot to the franchise really disappointed me. I was one of those people that were stupid enough to actually pre-order the game, and realizing that games when they first come out nowadays aren't completely without glitches and like polished before they come out. I thought that was cool, you know, I can get it pre-ordered, and then once it comes out, then I can get all like the little, you know, day one things, and it was gonna be pretty memorable, because when the last game came out, I barely had any money and I was asking my mom to get the game. So now I'm old enough, I'm older, and I can buy my own video games, woohoo. And I really wanted to get like a child, well, not child, but teenage game that I played when I was a teenager, and I thought was pretty funny. And immediately I figured it was a bad idea after I paid for the game. A couple of weeks before the game even came out, they started to get some really bad reviews saying that the game didn't look as good, and the trailer was just showing off all the things that you can do in the game and change to your character. It was very customizable, which is something that a lot of people liked with the earlier games, because you can customize whatever you wanted without really having any limitations. And this expanded on that to where you could like customize anything with your character. And that was one of the things that they harped on the whole entire trailer, but they didn't really show any of the gameplay, how you would be moving around, the fighting mechanics, or any of the story. And I remember actually seeing the trailer and also hearing about the new game probably 2 months before or 3 months before I actually had like the trailer. And I was excited. I was actually excited because GTA has been out for so long that I haven't played it since probably 2016. And that's how long it's been. And they still have not released a new game. And because, again, since I had that connection with Saints Row and I really enjoyed the previous entries into the franchise, I thought it would be a good idea, again, to play it, enjoy it, and have fun with it. But the glitches were non-stop. I literally played the game, and the first mission, my car flipped over and like flew into the air like 100 feet, and I died. And that's when I just, you know what, let me give it some time, let me take some time, play something else. And I stepped away. I didn't want to get too triggered or too upset about the game because I paid all that money, and I was just gonna wait for an update to come out. But then I just stopped playing it. It's weird nowadays when we have games that are like $1 million games, like AAA products. Maybe not AAA. I don't know if Saints Row would be a AAA franchise, but it had a lot of hype around it, and it delivered very piss poorly. When you have so much hype around the game coming out and you deliver it or you release it half-assed, then a lot of people will not respect you. A lot of the issues that I saw with the game is the script writing. It felt like there was no energy or anything relatively close to the old script writing for any of the older games. And of course, it's 2023 or 2022 when the game came out, and you know you have to watch what you say nowadays. But that's not really the case, because Saints Row has always been a game where it's always been edgy jokes or edgy things just being said. But when you start the game off with dick jokes the whole time, It feels forced, but it's not forced to the point where it's funny. It's forced to the point where it's kind of cringy. But of course, they couldn't continue the story that they had in Re-elected because it was so far left that they wouldn't even be able to continue to go with that storyline. And when I say so far left, I'm not talking about like the political spectrum. I'm talking about just out of left field. I don't want anybody to think I'm political, you know? But it was so far left that they had to just start over. And I understand that Violation or whatever developers did this game, they didn't want to do the same old, oh yeah, we're gonna get superpowers, you're gonna be pretty much invincible, you could upgrade your character. I'm pretty sure you could upgrade your character in this one with the skill tree, but I didn't even get that far because the game glitched out and I wasn't able to play it. So I think they wanted to do something new, something that wasn't supernatural, not supernatural, but superpowers and unbelievable. So they wanted to create something that they could be proud of, even though the last games were amazing. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure they wanted to be a competitor or something that you could play before GTA 5 came out. And that was cool, you know, do what you gotta do, but don't take away everything that as a fan we love. I personally loved when we were able to go into space and fight random things. And even in the older games when it was, you had to fight like different gangs and there were like some super overpowered people that you had to try to kill. It was amazing. I loved those games. Saints Row 2 was amazing and it really got me into the franchise. But this game just takes a very far step backwards. And it's crazy because the reviews on this game aren't even that bad. I think it has 6 out of 10 stars, which is pretty good for how it was released and how many glitches and bugs it had. It's kind of like how Cyberpunk came out and there was a bunch of bugs and they didn't really care about fixing them for a couple hours or for a couple of months. And then all of a sudden they took it off of like the PS4, the Xbox One stores, and it just kind of took them a while just to fix all the bugs. But now people actually still play it. But for me, I just haven't even thought about playing the Saints Row reboot. And it just feels kind of like a hit in the face to all the fans that really wanted this game to be good. We've had so many games in the past couple of years that have all been franchises and nothing really good has come out of it. I saw PlayStation, they have like a lot of good games that are coming out, but nothing really good for like Xbox. And I kind of blame that on Fortnite because they made the gaming scene extremely competitive. And now Fortnite just has this grip or this hold on the whole industry that everybody wants to play battle royale games. They don't want a single player game that has a storyline. So who cares what we put out, regardless of how it is? Because if we put out a game, it's half-assed, we can just go in with an upgrade or update and we could just update the whole game. But that's also an issue because if you put so much time into a game and then all of a sudden it's updated, what if that corrupts your file that's already saved? I think the Saints Row developers throughout this time just did a really shitty job on the game in general. And I think they just took a franchise that a lot of kids my age, not kids, but a lot of adults my age or a lot of people around my age really enjoyed and just threw it out there because they knew that it would be a big cash grab. And not everyone would be upset if they just put out a half-ass game just for the hell of it. And maybe I am being a little bit too hard on it, but it kind of just, you take a step backwards when you release a half-ass game. Like Hogwarts Legacy, it came out, it was pretty good, I'm playing it now. It released with very little issues. And it's like, how hard is it to just upload or like create a game or release the game without very little bugs? There's literally ways that you could stop it. Like game testers that test the game, there's no way that you could release a game without seeing all these bugs and without actually trying to fix it. And I think that's what it is. It's a whole money grab. You know, they'll release the game, say, oh yeah, we'll upgrade it or update it later on down the line, and people will still buy it because people want a new game on the shelf. And I understand that. It was supposed to be the AAA title back. Violation was supposed to take control, rebrand the franchise, and make it better than what it was. And that's what we all expected. As fans of Saints Row, that's all we ever just wanted. Even remastering Saints Row 2, we would have been okay with. That's what the fans of the game wanted for so long, but they don't think that's a good idea. I just don't understand it. Saints Row has been one of the worst games I've played within the past couple of months, and that's saying something because I really haven't played that many games, but the games that I have played really didn't pique my eye. And I think it upsets me even more because of how much money I spent on the game and because I had it like pre-ordered and I was really excited to play it and I was waiting for months for it to play and I was playing the games leading up to it, and then to have it come out and it was very lackluster and not really good. It just wasn't. It didn't stand up to the hype. It was a lot of hype around the game, you know, customization, and again, all of that. When you brand a game just around customization, there's only so many things you can customize, with your character at least. They say unlimited customizations, but what about everything else? And maybe I'm giving it too harsh of a review, but from my experience of how long I played it, even though it wasn't even that long, I just felt like it didn't move correctly. It didn't feel the same, like skipped a beat, and it wasn't as good as like Saints Row 2. It moved very slowly, or it just, I can't explain it. It just felt wrong. And it was bad because this software that they're using, technology has grown since the last video game that they put out. And for them to put out a game that's pretty similar to, like, as far as like graphics and fighting style to one of their older games, even though it's not even close to the fighting style, I just felt like, again, it was a half-assed team putting together this game and they just don't care about the franchise. But that's it for me. If you guys enjoyed the video game, let me know in the comments below. Again, like a shot in the heart for me, and I felt like I was going to really enjoy this game. I was really planning on it, played it till like 12 or like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was hoping it would be good. I thought it would be decent, but it wasn't. It just really wasn't. And it really hurt my feelings. Not really hurt my feelings, but it hurt the way that I saw like Violation and Saints Row as a franchise. It just really upset me. Just let me know in the comments below how far you got in the game or how many glitches you saw in the game, because there's a lot of them. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. A couple months ago, so let's finally sit down and actually talk about it. In April of 2022, I made a video on Blasphemous HD and his channel, and if you don't know who Blasphemous is, he's a reaction channel that reacts to a lot of stupid things, Family Guy funny moments, and also Gumball funny moments, and it's not good content. But before he went on this tirade of making like